broker stuff. All right, we are live. Just gotta wait for everybody to. Nay, scoot up a little. You're too dark. You are too dark, so. Too dark, so.
There we go. Got the light on me now.
That's gross.
Told me to scoot up.
Yeah, not here.
Mm-hmm. Anybody there?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's.
I don't think we're on.
Yeah, we are. Usually it shows though the. Like this is all new setup, right there. 8.
I think everybody's just playing shy. And somebody.
It just takes a little bit to log on, but I'm on all. We're on all those channels.
Cool. So are all the comments going to be showing up
Right
on
here.
that side of the screen?
Right here.
All right.
We got 14 right now. See?
Hey.
Let me just double check. Yeah, see? We're live. We're live on YouTube, on your Facebook, on my Facebook,
To the universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I slept solid. I slept 12, damn near 12 hours yesterday. I never do that.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was up before the sun came up, and then I was watching all the snow melt in our backyard, working on my laptop, and finally she comes around the bend out of the bedroom with the dog. I'm like, it's almost 10, right?
I'm like, huh? Bright light, huh? So that screwed my shit up, man. Like I said, I was sleeping hardcore. So
I'll do that one.
Yeah.
Stones to help with 42-year-old brother going into hospice from cancer. There is a weight on my heart. So sorry. I turned 42 in less than 2 weeks. Wow, that's way too young.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even feel like I'm in my 40s. Cancer. I mean, if he's going to hospice, I mean,
I like Alestial quartz, and the reason why I like Alestial or it's also known as like alligator quartz or whatever, it's because it helps them transition easy without having to panic about death or panic about the transition. So Alestial quartz and gold rutilated quartz is an excellent combo to help somebody, easily cross over. Chastiolite would be another one that would be pretty good. So, and I think any of those 3 are really good for somebody crossing over.
Yeah. So, I mean, because that's what we're focusing on, especially him going into hospice, unfortunately.
Is not being scared, just being able to release easy and go home easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I like, and you could do one or the combo of, but again, that's Chastiolite, and Chastiolite has like a little cross in it. And then Alestial quartz. And then the other one would be gold rutilated quartz. Any of those would be fine. So, all right. Looks like we don't have. So we are here to help you guys answer any and all questions when it comes to crystals. So I know a lot about the basic stuff. He knows everything about the exotic stuff. So, so we are here to help you guys answer questions when it comes to stuff. So yeah, so he's like smoky Alestial is one of my faves. I'm like, an Alestial quartz is a lot like, I mean, it's compressed quartz. So if you think about it, I mean, it's like, it has a lot of power to it. So it's kind of like a point to a point to a point. So Alestials they're very powerful. I think people don't realize how powerful they really are, especially in like crystal grids and stuff like that. So those are always really, really good ones. So, but yeah, if you guys have questions, like I said, we are here to help you answer questions when it comes to crystal things. All kinds of crystal things. No. Everybody's like, nobody's got questions.
I guess I'll chime in on a subject matter that we've been getting a lot of inquiries about what the difference is between. There's a lot more lab grown stuff out there that humans are making inside of a lab where they're just speeding up the process. For instance, emeralds and tanzanites. Tanzanite's going to be out within 10 years, everybody. It's going to be completely depleted. I mean, they're already forecasting that, given the last 2 fields have recently been opened out in Tanzania for that stone. And one of the fields is 60% dry. So like out of the 4 quadrants, out of the 4 fields, 2 are completely done. And then the other half is almost depleted as well. But there is a difference between lab-grown crystals and simulated crystals. Like, for instance, a simulated diamond, that's moissanite, that's cupric zirconia. They're using other materials to make what appears to be a diamond, right? Lab-grown diamonds, they literally take what the earth naturally produces. For instance, they compress carbon inside of a machine, and it still takes several months, and then they perfect it, and they do, in fact, create a real diamond. That's why even lab-made diamonds will still test positive on a diamond tester. But stimulated or simulated stones, people are actually using other materials other than what the earth naturally uses to produce those crystals. I just wanted to chime in because I get a lot of inquiries about that these days. So let's see.
Oh, we were talking about the hospice ones. It's celestial quartz and gold rutilated quartz. The other one would be the cross one. Chastity light.
Yeah.
So here you go, babe. You can answer this one. I'm going to get this set up because there's a problem. So go ahead.
Do you have any idea how record keepers are made within a crystal? Yeah, very scarcely. It's pretty rare. Guys, I always explain to everybody, every crystal is made differently, but they're all made the same. When I say something like that, when they're all made the same, it takes a few different key elements or a few key elements within that recipe to create that crystal. Time, temperature, and pressure, okay? I've explained the difference a lot of times between amethyst and chevron amethyst. Chevron amethyst is purple quartz, is purple amethyst, but then it stops growing, and then white quartz takes it over. And then after that, then the right conditions come along, and then the purple quartz begins growing again. It works hand in hand with record keepers as well, or any rutilisation, or any needles, or any inclusions within the crystals, okay? What are you doing?
Going live.
Now I got to do this?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because for whatever reason, this is not hooked up to our Awakenings one. So that's Awakenings. This is not.
Why is it still on one side?
It's Mercury retrograde,
Fix it.
It's just.
Fix it.
Doesn't want to do anything. That's just nice.
Broadcast failed. Please check your internet connection and try again.
Mercury retrograde can suck it.
Yep.
Oh, make sure it's working. It's working.
It's working all right.
Let's try this again. We'll go on this side, maybe.
And Olga says, best stone for low-grade bladder cancer. If you scroll up.
Scroll up?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, that one.
My favorite too for any and all forms of cancer, rhodozite is definitely going to be my number one. That's rhodozite, everybody. It comes from Madagascar. It's a super rare crystal. We always have it in stock. I am ordering more of the glass vials along with the small pebbles that we typically retail for $19.99. We do have larger pieces. Rhodozite typically grows small. Again, it's only from Madagascar, but it's the number one ultimate stone to help keep those cancerous cells at bay. My number 2 stone for that would be sugilite. So
I'm about ready to chuck my phone.
Yeah. I think it's user error.
Go ahead. Use your phone.
No way.
I don't know why this isn't working. We need to
so
go
wait,
live.
Okay, so we're just want to go live on.
Yeah, Facebook.
All right.
And it's Mercury retrograde. It's just been like, oh, I know he will.
All right, going live.
All right, let's see. Is blue agate the best for a high stress job? It's not a bad one. But I like
it works.
I like anything blue is great. Blue lace agate, ocean jasper, sodalite. I probably would stay away from lapis on that one, but usually the lighter ones are going to be great for stress. So usually those are going to be the better ones. Hang on one second. I'm trying to go live on Awakening's Facebook page too, because apparently We're not live, even though we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So best crystal for childbirth.
Pink kunzite.
Yep, kunzite. Kunzite's a good one. I do like Unikite because that helps with the process of childbirth. And the other one would be pink dambarite. So those are all really good ones. And if you can't afford the pink dambarite, because sometimes it can be expensive, go with the rose quartz.
Yeah, pink kunzite for mothers, but if you're, again, we can't forget about the fathers. They play a part in this too. Greenland Numite for the fathers.
Best stone for migraines.
Charoite.
You like charoite? I like lapis, but charoite's actually a pretty good one too. Yeah. So charoite, and but usually anything kind of purple fluorite would be pretty good for migraines as well. So best crystals for meditation.
Moldavite.
I was gonna say it depends on how hard you want to hit that. If you really want to tap in hardcore, then you're looking at moldavite, tektite, phenakite, something along those lines. Otherwise, if you just kind of want your mind to calm down, any of the fluorites are great for kind of working with the mind, logic, and kind of getting it to shut up a little bit. So usually those are pretty good ones too. I got two here. Just want to make sure we're gonna watch that one too. Okay.
Best crystal for arthritis. Copper. That'd be mine.
Were you seeing that?
Right there, Denise.
Oh, there it is. Best crystal for arthritis. Copper is good. Any of the blue gold stone, because that has copper in it as well. So green sandstone, red sandstone, blue sandstone, any of the sandstones are really good for arthritis as well. So
I'll do this one. So with that chevron design in amethyst, why don't they call it chevron rainbow fluorite? Hey, why do they call grape chalcedony grape agate? And it's not even a type of agate.
Yeah.
Bumblebee jasper, everybody. It's not even a freaking jasper.
Yeah,
it's in fact an agate.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many misnomers. Crystals are known by so many different trade names out there. I mean, we have some at our store like dickite. We love calling it dickite. That's in fact a real mineral name. But there's like 5 other terms that people use around the world. So we have to include that in the title. Very similar to blue ice that came out on the market several years ago. It's also known as glacierite and knockerite as well.
You need to come forward a little bit more because they can't see you.
Oh, I'm here.
You're too dark. You're blending in with everything.
Blending in. It's buried in my shirt.
Do crystals need to be charged every full moon? It's not necessarily. If you didn't use it, you really don't necessarily have to. And of course, it depends on the crystal too. Some are more absorbers, others are more reflectors. But I personally never charge my crystals with an eclipse of any sort, especially a lunar eclipse. So I usually don't. So
the super solar eclipse we did though.
Well,
years ago.
Well, yeah, but that's different.
Like 8 years ago. Right?
So, but the one, like I said, the lunar eclipse, I did not. So you don't have to, but in between times, if you want to charge up crystals, that's what we have selenite for. Selenite charges all other crystals. It doesn't cleanse them, but it does charge them. That's why we like the full moon, because the full moon will cleanse and charge crystals both. So. And a lot of times, especially within hydros, you want to be a little careful. So if you put them on the window seal, it works just as well. So works just as good.
Oh no, my name's getting called.
Yeah, I was on the website the other day. 2 people were arguing about satin spar and selenite. As a gemologist, can you explain the difference?
Yeah, there is a difference, even with the looks of them. So satin spar, they're both a variety of gypsum salt. How you can tell the difference, though, now the selenite that we sell in our store that typically is found in Morocco, that's going to be more of the milky, where it's not necessarily transparent, where a lot of people call it selenite. We have also sold the satin spar gypsum on amethyst clusters. That is going to be more of the transparent type stuff that they're both going to be water soluble. So if you dump them in water, they're going to start to erode and deteriorate. So yeah, there are some minor differences. I mean, they are different, okay? But there's a lot of similarities too. That's why you're going to see a lot of crystal stores calling it the exact same thing. In all actuality, they're not actually the same. but it's very similar to our informational cards, where a lot of the properties are going to be so similar. Where Midnight Lace Obsidian, we use the black obsidian cards because, again, they're both coming out of a volcano. One of them has more or less banding and inclusions inside of it, whereas the other one doesn't. It's
Splitting hairs.
Yep, we're just splitting hairs.
That's why on our website we have all three: satin spar, gypsum, and selenite, because they're interchangeable with a lot of people. And of course, depending on the country, depends on what they call it too. So that's why a lot of times we have to add in what other people call it too. Can you please say the name for stress job? Also work to get a new job. So jade, I like jade and pyrite. Anything with money or job, jade, pyrite, citrine are great. So those are always really, really good ones. Best crystals for travel. I like the combo. Oh, hi, Kitty. I like the combo of malachite and gold tiger eye. But we do have crystal kits
Those two
at
are
the
in
store.
The crystal kit.
Yeah, we do have that in the crystal in the store. So, Bernie wants to say hi. Bernie, you say hi. Bernie, say hi.
Say hi up there too.
Bernie, say hi. She's pretty chill, actually. Aren't you, honey? You smell like outside a little. Yeah, you're kind of stinky.
Mary's got a question up here, up top.
What happens if I forgot to remove my crystals from the windowsill the other night? Nothing. Because it's a-okay, because sometimes I forget mine 24 hours. It's all good. So it's not too big of a deal. It's not as big as what you think it would be. The biggest thing is that we just don't want to keep like things like amethyst out in the sun, because it can fade. So, but there's been a few times I forgot, and it's fine. So no big deal. Have a younger brother graduating. He is autistic and trouble with sudden change. Fire quartz. So we do have a crystal kit for autism and Asperger's, but I love fire quartz for people that have trouble with change that are neurodivergent. So if it's not the fire quartz, I also like crazy lace agate for that as well. Crazy lace agate for neurodivergent people like us are great. Charge your crystals in the screen room. Yes. Accidentally dropped my tumbled malachite and a small piece broke off. Is it still good? It's still good. So, and if you don't, which you can always gift it, or you can put it in your plants. A lot of times I put it in my plants. So if mine break, I'm either giving it away, or I usually put it in my plants. My plants like them. What crystals are good for protection? Black tourmaline, hands down. So that's always the number one to protect you from negative energy or negative people.
Smoky quartz.
Smoky's good. I like it. I like any of the obsidians if we're talking about work, if you need light protection from gossip or things like that. So I like the obsidians for that, like snowflake, any of the other different kinds. So, but black tourmaline is probably the number one to protect you from negative energy, negative people, negative places, things like that. Have I heard of bronzite? You bet.
Yes.
We sell it. It's an awesome grounder.
Also known as anstatite.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's heavy, and it's really, really good for grounding, especially after a solar flare or geomagnetic storm or something like that. So yeah, we have bronzite bracelets too. Jet for grief. Jet's a great one. Rhodonite is also like number one or number two. Apache tear isn't too shabby for grief either. And of course, rose quartz. But anything, honestly, pink or green. I also like ruby zozite for grief as well, especially like breakups and things like that. So what color is bronzite?
More brown.
It's kind of a brown gold color. It's really pretty. It's just heavy. So it's heavy like hematite. So again, those are awesome grounders. And hematite's really good. Think about hematite, hemoglobin, really good for blood. So is bloodstone. But hematite and bloodstone are excellent ones for people that have issues with like blood clots and stuff like that. So any other questions? You guys are all quiet tonight. All super quiet. No questions. We're having a look up too, because we have basically two screens going. So because we're live.
Yeah. So people that are on this live, we're not ignoring you. We're actually watching another screen down here.
There's 2 screens. So chronic UTIs, a lot of times, Christina, emotionally speaking, have a lot to do with you not speaking your truth with intimacy or within intimacy. And you're just really pissed off about it. Usually you're pissed off at your partner for something usually intimate, not always, especially when it comes to like feelings and things. But I like carnelian, especially the kind of more banded carnelian and like the orange sardonyx for people that have troubles with UTI. What would be good for broken bones? Calcite.
Mm-hmm.
Any calcite.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, any calcite. Calcite, calcium, bones. So any calcite is awesome for like repair. So what would be good for anemia? Bloodstone, hematite.
Yeah.
Bloodstone and hematite would be awesome ones. And then we got a question up here.
Are there any other crystals that can actually cleanse other crystals?
No. Usually, if anything, they're gonna amplify it, or they're going to charge it, not really cleanse it. Cleanse it is, we usually, like I said, again, full moon, will cleanse and charge both. But if you're saging your house on a new moon, sage your crystals. There you go, you cleansed them. So that's usually what we do. Time changes kicking my butt. Hey, me too. Like I said, I slept almost 12 hours last night. I never do that. Never. Oh, please repeat the grounding crystals.
We said black tourmaline,
bronzite,
bronzite, smoky quartz, hematite.
Anything black or kind of brown usually.
You're right over there.
Oh.
Jana, I have a massage practice. What do you like best for placement in my practice, and how do I keep people from touching them? Good luck.
Selenite. I like selenite lamps for, one, it's a really nice, the color that it emits is really nice and easy and smooth. But I like big old chunks of blue calcite because those are really calming crystals too. But I say selenite lamp right out the gate.
And clear quartz as well.
Yeah,
Clear
like
quartz
clusters,
is a master healer.
Yeah, clear quartz clusters and things like that. What are you doing?
She's being naughty again.
Get out. Get down. I don't like
she wants to be on the camera.
I know.
She wants to be a star.
Oh, wait. Osteoporosis and compression factors. That calcite. Any calcite, a zebra calcite, yellow calcite, any of those. Yellow calcite's actually the best one for compression for the back, but zebra calcite works great too. Good one to help with infertility. Now we do have an infertility kit at the store, but personally I like I can't even pronounce that one. Turritella.
Turritella.
That's it.
Turritella agate.
I'll never remember that. So, but that is an excellent one. The other one is damberite. I like damberite, really helps to open up the uterus. Carnelian is also a really good one. But I really like the one that he said, what? Say it again.
Turritella agate.
So that agate and damberite. So, and it doesn't have to be pink damberite. It can be any damberite. So I like that combo, but we do have that, kit in store. Best for central vertigo.
Rainbow fluorite.
Rainbow fluorite, hands down. Fluorite is always good for anything vertigo and anything with the brains, memory, concentration, focus, school, things like that are always excellent.
Julie, casino stones.
Yes.
Kel just did one of these videos a couple weeks ago.
Yep, and it did work.
Yeah,
it did work. So Amazonite.
Ridiculous.
And was it wasn't astrophyllite, it was fireworks stone, the apophyllite, not apophyllite.
Apophyllite's from India.
It is astrophyllite. Okay, it's astrophyllite. I always get those mixed up. So it's astrophyllite, also known as the fireworks stone, and Amazonite. But the other one I should have added in there would have been green aventurine, because that's known as the gambler's stone. So, and like I said, we'd never been to this casino before. And, you put your card in there to see, like, after you sign up for the cards or whatever. And it said that I won $1,000. And I was like, oh, it probably was like $100. I didn't see that right. And then he did it. And I think you got like
$10.
10. And so then I thought, well, maybe I did. And then I went to go put it in the machine and it gave me a $1,000 credit. I was like, holy crap.
I'm like, cash out.
I'm like, it worked. It wouldn't let me cash out. I had to use it. So, but those were the 3 that I used, and by God, they worked. So,
hey, stop it. Scratching our wedding photo.
Let's see here. There you go. Best one for cancer.
Yeah. So rhodozite and sugilite are my 2 faves.
And I like golden healer to kind of help back up that one. But a sugilite usually for me is my number 1. Is sugilite. Good crystal for lung issues. I like ruby zoe. And let's see the lung. I gotta think. It'd be pink opal. I like the pink opal for that one. Thyroid. I like lapis. Sodalite's great. Larimar isn't too shabby, but it's pricey. Angelite isn't bad, and blue lace agate isn't bad either. So anything blue, blue to kind of open that. Well. Yeah, celestite's great too. So anything to open up that throat chakra. A good one for neuropathy. Anything like nerves, Amazonite is really good for. And I really like the combo of the Amazonite and the jade, that kind of combo. So, somebody's asking, can Palo Santo charge? It can't charge it, but it can cleanse it. Yep, it'll cleanse it. You bet. You can use that too. I'll go over this one really quick, Jenny, but this is a crystal Q&A. Just the best thing that I can explain to you is kids are here to teach us spiritual stuff. We're here to tell them about reality. The best thing that you can do is encourage them that they've got more power than what they know. So if a child says go away and that spirit doesn't go away, they can always ask for angels to come by and take that spirit away. So I always want the kids to have more power than what they think they do. Also, we want to make sure no beds in corners, no white noise machines. And then we want to make sure that we sage the room fairly often because their beacons are bright, but we don't need every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come talk. So there's a good one. Do you have to physically hold a crystal for it to work? Can it be near you and still be beneficial?
Of course.
Yeah, you do not. I don't think ladies realize that you could put it in your purse too. A purse is still an extension of you. So you can use your purse and it works just as well. Bras, sock, I've seen it
Yeah, just as long as it's within close proximity.
Yeah.
For instance, if it's on your nightstand and some people want to get more intimate with their crystals, but they don't want the crystals falling behind the bed or putting them in their pillowcase. So we always recommend go ahead and put those stones in between the box spring and their mattress. I always call it the set it and forget it stone. We spend about a third of our lives on the damn thing anyway. Kitty.
My smoky quartz are all cracking. I use during hypnosis. Any suggestions? Do obsidian instead. So because smoky is good for grounding. It is a pretty decent protector, but when it starts to crack like that, it's quite literally taking a hit for you. So and we want something that has a little bit more power to it. So I'd actually go with obsidian, and probably mahogany obsidian or something like that would be a little bit better. So it's not taking so many hits. Good crystal for skin issues. Jade. I like the combo of jade and rose quartz, believe it or not. So, but jade is always that's why they always make the jade rollers. Jade is really good for skin. Best crystals for automatic writing. Those are going to be more of the higher vibed ones, like any tektite, moldavite, phenakite, brookite, any of the more high vibers. So that way it can kind of help open up that crown. And so you can start receiving that information. Anxiety and insomnia.
Charlotte.
So I like amethyst is pretty good for anxiety, insomnia, halite. Believe it or not, halite's number 1. And number 2 on that list, selenite.
Mm-hmm.
Selenite actually is really good for insomnia. So that's why I like to have a selenite lamp next to me at night. So helps to sleep. Doesn't have to be on. Shingles. The best one for shingles is going to be jade again. But I would actually add in malachite with that one because that is considered to be more like autoimmune. And anything autoimmune always affects your heart chakra. And malachite will help to kind of balance that out a little bit too. But jade and that combo of jade and malachite would probably be pretty good. Sugilite.
Yes.
Yep. Sugilite for cancer. Yep. Anything for the esophagus.
Blue lace.
Yeah, it'd be like blue lace or angel light or not sapphire. What's that other light colored blue one? Oh, hemimorphite. Blue hemimorphite. That's the one I was thinking of. We got a question up there.
Daughter has bipolar. What are the best crystals to help her keep her focused while working?
Rainbow fluorite.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, maybe even purple fluorite.
Fluorites, Kim, they help balance the hemispheres of the brain. Same thing with camerite as well too.
Yeah, camerite would be great too. And then Jana was asking best crystal for eye issues. Iolite. Iolite. So I also like blue tiger eye too for eye issues. That's not too shabby of a one either. But iolite can be a little bit more pricey. So if you need to go a little bit cheaper, go with the blue tiger eye. But iolite is ultimately the best one for that. My purse is already so heavy. That's so true. There we go. So what does faceted mean? It means it's been cut really pretty to sparkle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
it's a certain cut. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, jewelers who know how to facet jewelry. I have seen the ugliest of all semi-precious stones that I'm like, they're going to ask what price for that? That's crazy. But then when they polish it and facet it, it creates a light dispersion where it's kind of like an optical illusion with our eyes, where we're looking at the stone, but we're seeing all these different colors the way that the light is dispersing on it. And honestly, I have seen the ugliest stones in the world turn out to be the most beautiful stones as soon as they get faceted and cut.
It's so weird because they'll show it to you and you're like, ew, you're going to make that into a ring? I'm like,
yeah. You think about most diamonds, everybody. Diamonds that are on people's wedding rings or engagement rings, they're all faceted.
Yeah. Yeah. Sparkle.
Have you ever seen a diamond that is in its rough formation? Ugly.
You'd throw it away if you didn't know.
Yeah.
What's rose quartz? Rose quartz is good for accepting yourself, self-love. But it's more or less learning how to love yourself, learning how to accept yourself. That's what rose quartz is really known for. Best crystal for autoimmune. I mean, anything pink or green, but I really like malachite most of the time for autoimmune issues. And like I said, rubyzo isn't bad. Green aventurine isn't too shabby. Pink opals, anything pink or kind of green is going to be a-okay for autoimmune. So the other one that I'd kind of maybe add in there would maybe be like a moss agate, because moss agate's really good for colds and flus, and that's more virally as well. Let's see here. Oh,
Kim, best crystal to help with fatigue and give physical energy. Heliodor. I call Heliodor, which is also known as golden beryl, the He-Man stone. It does not work for mental fatigue. It works for physical fatigue. Also lemon quartz as well, or whiskey quartz.
And I would add in a red jasper or brecciated jasper, because that's the one for physical activity to get going and moving. So I like any of the red jasper or brecciated red jasper would be fine too. Best one for MS. That's going to be the dragon's blood jasper. Oh. What you are?
What'd you do?
What wind? Wind scared your dog? No. She's the scariest
She's
dog.
A sweetheart though.
She's a sweetheart, but she is the scariest dog. She's like, "Oh, I saw something." I'm like, "Oh, for Pete's sake."
She probably did see something that we couldn't see.
Yeah, dust. A good bottle to put in water, or a good crystal to put in water bottle. Amethyst, citrine, and clear quartz are always, and rose quartz are always going to be your safe bet. When in doubt, leave it out. So you can always put your crystal. You can always put your crystal next to your water bottle too, and it will be. I don't think people realize that's making an elixir. When you put crystals next to your water, it changes the vibrational frequency of the water, and it doesn't take long. And what's even weirder is that it actually changes the flavor of the water. It really does work. So, but that's called an elixir when you put crystals into water or next to water. But I always tell people, when in doubt, leave it out. You better to be safe than sorry. Good crystal for seeking a new job for the confidence.
Confidence. Gold tiger eye.
So he likes gold tiger eye. I was going to say citrine. That was going to be my go-to. So let me explain this one super quick. Cheryl was asking why. The reason why I can't do white noise machines is, you know, the movie Poltergeist, when she stuck her hands on the TV and she's like, they're here. When I was a kid, I used to turn it to that channel because I could hear my spirit guides talking to me like I'm talking to you. So white noise machines tap us in. It makes us more intuitive. We astral travel to further places. Like, that's good if you want to meditate with it, but we don't want kids to sleep with that, or they are not going to sleep at all. They won't sleep at all. Good question. Do you need to clean a Himalayan salt lamp?
No.
No? No, you do not. No. That's a good question. Can you have or wear too many crystals at one time?
Never.
No. So the only thing is that if you have, say, like blue lace agate, which is kind of helps you relax, and then you have something like carnelian, which is like an upper, they still, I mean, they don't necessarily cancel each other out, because the blue lace will still open up the throat chakra, and the carnelian is still going to open up the solar the solar plexus and the sacral chakras as well. So you know, they're still going to do a thing. So no, there's really honestly no limit, which is kind of nice. So
go to Janet's.
Which one?
Janet Schmirch.
Oh, there you go.
This is interesting. I'm trying to break a cycle of family chaos. What crystal would be good to help me break my cycle? Me personally, noviculite. That's known as the emotional cord cutter. So any type of drama that you're trying to stay away from, or if they kind of suck you into that mix and you just kind of want to cut ties when it's associated with that, also mentally, noviculite.
I like sodalite, because sodalite is really good for learning how, being able to speak your truth and be heard, especially within family drama. Especially within that. Could be work drama too, but usually family dramas. I like sodalite for that one. So I think we kind of did this one. We'll do it again. The brain injury, mental health one, I still like the rainbow fluorite. So anything with headaches, vertigo, remembering things, concentration, school, logic, rainbow fluorite, or any of the fluorites. It could be green fluorite, purple fluorite, yellow fluorite, blue fluorite. Like it kind of, whatever you think looks pretty. Honestly, if you think it looks pretty, you probably need it. So that's why you always hear people say, well, your crystal will call to you. I don't know what the hell that means. I just tell adults, when you come to the store, don't read the cards. What crystal looks pretty? And you'll be like, ooh, this one looks neat. And then you read the card and you're like, oh crap, that pretty much describes what I need. I'm like, yep. So but any of the fluorites are great for that. Yes.
Yeah, you're into plants.
Yeah, it is. And because that one, it actually does help with plant growth, believe it or not. Moss agate and tree agate do too.
Go to Carol's. Let me answer this.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Better on or off? They look cool when they're on, but here's the misnomer, everybody. So if you guys have heard about salt lamps that they emit negative ions, and for those of you that aren't familiar with negative ions, it's the same stuff that gets produced by oceans and by waves and stuff like that. So it produces that calming effect. However, if you take a negative ion gun meter to a salt lamp and the salt lamp is off, it's going to be registering anywhere, and it's going to be small, anywhere between 5 to 15, depending on the size of the salt lamp, right? However, when you have it plugged in and turned on, it actually grounds down some of those negative ions. So it actually is doing a disservice by keeping it on. Also, the other thing too is if you turn it on, turn it off. Now, we always recommend, hey, if you're going to leave it on, just leave it on for good.
I will definitely tell you to leave it on, especially during the summertime here in Nebraska, because otherwise it's going to suck up water and drip.
The humidity will, I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, but the humidity will start to stick to the salt lamp, and then eventually it will start to erode the shape. It's not going to go down to just a puddle unless you literally just dump it into your bathtub. But the humidity, again, it's a water soluble mineral, so it will actually dissolve when it's wet. So
this one, there was one up here.
Okay.
Burnout at work. What crystal helps with burnout at work?
Well, we never get burnt out, so I don't know.
I would actually think either mica or pyrite. And the reason why I say that is because you're able, one, it helps you to make a logical decision. It also helps you to self-reflect and look inward to figure out, do I still want this job or not? But then number 3, once you do decide, pyrite is going to help you to manifest either more money or a different job. So those are the first ones I thought of right out the gate. I'll let you do that one.
Gemologists don't specialize in metals, but if you're talking about the metals, they come in these red tins. I mean, if you're talking about cleaning the actual metal, because silver is going to oxidize when air gets to it. And a lot of times all you need is just one of those polishing pads, and then it just brightens right up. Now they have also those ionizers. Is that what they're called? You have one. Those
the little jewelry cleaners. Blue. For the most part, as long as it's most jewelry cleaners are going to be safe for gemstones.
Right.
Most of them. So, and if they're not, usually they're going to put some sort of a coating over it to protect it anyway, especially like opals, things like that. You get to answer this one.
Shungite good to put in water. Shungite is actually one of the best to put in water. The Elite Noble Shungite, especially in its rough formation, is actually the best to put in your water because Elite Noble Shungite contains anywhere between 90 to 98% carbon. So think about a Brita water filter pitcher. How does it purify the water when you put that filter inside the pitcher? Well, inside those particles are mostly all carbon. So it actually removes all the contaminants and anything that is inside the water that is not safe or good to drink. However, with the Elite Noble Shungite, I always recommend getting a rough piece and not a tumbled piece. But the rough piece, once you get it home, rinse it under hot water for 60 seconds. Because that's to get people's oily fingers if they touched it.
If you'd seen the miners,
you want to clean them. So, but hot water is going to rinse literally in, because again, it's not necessarily a water soluble mineral, but it will begin to erode. The water will begin to break it down. So if you rinse it under hot water for 60 seconds, it will literally just take off anything and everything on there that is not good, any germs or anything like that. Then go ahead and plop it in your water. Doesn't matter if it's a small piece, large piece, and you can continuously reuse it as well. But we always recommend leave it in the water at least overnight. 24 hours better, but overnight at least. So,
do dream catchers need cleanse, or is sage just okay? I cleanse mine. I don't know if you do or not.
I don't know either. But I mean, dream catchers came from the Native American tradition as well as saging.
Yeah,
so
or sweetgrass.
They always saged everywhere along with the dream catchers. So yeah, absolutely. So,
what is the best crystals to wear that would allow you to do your job but not get emotionally attached? Oh, Miss Empath. I like chrysocolla. Chrysocolla, azurite. I like that combo, or chrysocolla, or azurite malachite. So any of those that really, I like the chrysocolla because it really helps empaths to protect their heart. And it kind of keeps it a little bit smaller and more stable so you don't over care too much. So I like chrysocolla, especially for my teacher, counselor, nurses.
I was going to look up this one on my phone, going to the website.
Do mala beads with pyrite at the store? I don't believe so.
We may. No, we may have a silver and sage one that has pyrite.
Okay. You get the next question.
Okay. She'll look it up.
I'll look it up.
She'll look it up on our website, see if we have anything. Can you use tumbled shungite for water? You can. I would be very leery on that because everybody, shungite, the rough pieces, how it's actually unearthed, you can literally squeeze it with your fingers and literally almost about to crush it. It's like a 2.5 on the Mohs hardness scale, right? Tumbled shungite, they actually reinforce it by taking the hard or the rough chunks and then compacting it. And sometimes they'll use some type of special adhesive to keep it all together, okay? Stuff that you won't be able to see. Very similar to how I talk about on a lot of my Whatnot lives. Rose quartz, a lot of crystals get their color variations because of inclusions of metal inside of it, okay? Rose quartz, it would be clear quartz, but it has inclusions of titanium inside of it. That is what gives off its rosy pink color variation, okay? Very similar to dumortierite. Dumortierite is just blue quartz. Rather than titanium, it has copper inside of it, which then turns it into dumortierite, not rose quartz. So, but yeah, but I'm explaining that as a comparison because stuff that you don't see when things get tumbled, I wouldn't recommend tumbled shungite. That's just my preference anyway, because you don't know exactly how they compacted it because all vendors are going to tumble their stones a little bit differently.
We do not have pyrite.
Ah, shucks.
No, sir.
Buggers.
No, sir.
Right. Melinda, when you sage your home, is it best to open all the windows at the end? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to open them all, but enough to get the air going through. Right. That's great. Usually what I do, and I will talk to Jess about that too. Usually what I do during the equinox is usually the equinox is pretty near a full moon. And we always want to sage our crystal or sage everything in a new moon. And we put our crystals out to charge in a full moon. And so usually every equinox, spring and fall, not only do I sage the hell out of the house, and I mean, I smoke it. Every cabinet, I open everything up. And then when I'm done with that, I'll go outside and take some salt and do one big ring on the outside of my house, just as an added protection. So, because negative things can't cross salt. So, and salt is very spiritually protective. And so I do that twice a year, which happens to be on his birthday, which is the 20th. And we do sell black salt. And salt as well, but I think we might be out right now, but I know Jess is we're getting some in, and we should have it by the 20th. So it's not a bad idea to do that. I do it like that. I just do it twice a year. I mean, I sage monthly-ish. I say that ish because we don't have kids here as much anymore, so I don't have to sage as much. But usually I still try to do it once a month anyway. So
Cheryl, where's your store? Earth. No, we're in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah. Yeah,
right here in the plains.
144th and Maple.
Yep.
Best crystal to use when you do Reiki. Diane, honestly, I would just say clear quartz. And the reason why is because clear quartz will amplify the energy. Mm-hmm. So I would say clear quartz, absolutely. That's a good question. Don't like the smell of sage. What are some alternatives?
Well, have you smelled them all?
Yeah. My son doesn't like sage either. Palo. He likes the Palo Santo. Every once in a while, I'll run out of both, and I'll use sweetgrass. You could use the sage spray, but it's not nearly as potent. Sage spray is more for like a fluff and buff. It's more for like your car
or your personal bubble.
Or your apartment or like your office. So. But there's a lot of different scents that you can do. Incense works as well. Singing bowls work.
Chime
bells, clapping works too. So there's lots of different ways to do it. How often did I sage with weekly? They're
Every
hormonal.
hour on
oh my
the hour.
God. And then they bring friends over. They're just hormonal and
they suck.
Yeah, no, it was a lot. And they had an attitude, and it kind of went on for a while. Then a lot of times I would sage them too. And what's great is all three are out of the house, but Steven's the one that's like, Mom, can you do that smoky thing on me? Something's wrong. I'm like, you work at a jail. Yes, I'll sage you. So, let's see. Yeah, I do too. That's actually, Brienne, I do too. I bring my sage spray when we are traveling. So, and sometimes I'll remember salt, but lately I brought salt a couple times and I got stopped with TSA because they're like, what kind of a salt is this? I'm like, it's just salt. They're like, I'm like, oh, not that kind. So anymore, I'll just get little salt packets, put them in some water, do that, and then I'll dump it on my head. So that seems to be the easiest way to do it. So, oh, that's a good question. Good question, Deidre. You run a business that you run out of your house and looking for crystals to help with motivation and growing your business. Carnelian is awesome for motivation and having like solutions to problems. And anything like pyrite, jade, green aventurine, and/or citrine are really good for manifesting money and growing business.
So is
jade especially. Mossets it is too. So, and especially if you put those in your home in the southeast corner of your home. That's also a really good, that's the money corner when it comes to feng shui. So, anything up here? Am I seeing anything?
No, just some funny stories.
Okay.
Pam, this one right here.
Okay.
I'm afraid I'm going to lose my crystals in my pocket. Can I just put them in your yellow bag from Awakenings and carry them in my pocket that way? Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why, guys, I move around a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I really don't carry a lot of stones in my pocket. That's why I typically wear my assorted gemstone mala, because I have it all on just one spot.
And we will take your yellow bags back and your bubble wrap. So bubble wrap's freaking expensive.
It is.
We have a lot of people that are like, do you want my bubble wrap? We're like, yes. Yes, we will take your bubble wrap every single time. So, because it just saves us in costs too.
Right.
And same with the yellow bags. Yeah, heck yeah, we'll take them back. Is there a specific frequency? Not necessarily for the bells. No. We have silver, bronze, gold. Yeah, bells. So, and that's what we have bells is literally so you can walk around and ring the bell, because what that does is, instead of, if you have stagnant energy, it forces the energy to move. And in a home, you want the energy to move in a home. So, and that's why bells work. Like I said, if you don't like sage, bells work just fine. So. How is Templeton?
I know. That's why I was looking around for him.
He's up there.
Oh.
He's okay. Lately his tummy's been a little off. I think it's just from all the medication. So today we slept in today. So he did too. But he's the problem is that he gets to be squirrely and he jumps off the couch still.
Jumps from high places.
I'm like, you don't have a back leg, but he'll jump like on his front ones then. And I'm like, oh, so. But he's coming along. He is healing. So that's good. Is selenite a good idea to put on your windows? Yeah, it's selenite's more high vibe than what I think people think. So I think it's a great idea.
That's an interesting one.
Do you open bells after singing bowls?
I would say no.
You don't, but I do. I know that sounds weird, but because back in the day they used to burp their house, especially in winter. And so I don't know why. I just feel like after I do the bells and chimes, the singing bowls, I do kind of open up the window a little bit to burp it, but I don't know why I do that. That's just something I've always done. I don't know. It's kind of like if my crystal breaks, what I'll do is I'll put it on my selenite because I feel like it needs to heal a little bit. I don't know. And so I'll leave it on my selenite for 3 days. And then I'll take those 2 pieces and put one in one plant and one in another. Like, I don't know. It's not going to heal it, but in my brain, that's what I feel like I got to do. I know it's weird. So, hey, you married the weird. Let's see here. Let's see here. I've been sick for months, flu, then COVID, then strep. Flu, COVID. So, Katie, watch your sugar. So your sugar's probably feeding all of that stuff, and stress does not help. So you're a lot of sugar and too much stress. Good question. So what I do is I always start at the front door because I always forget where the hell I started. So I've just learned I start at the front door, and what I say is, God, angel, spirit guides, please fill this house with love and light. Anything not serving me or my family's highest good must leave now. And I just repeat that over and over. And I, like I said, smoke the hell out of everything. So, and then like I said, during the equinoxes is when I'll do the salt too. So do I have witches' bells for doors? Dawn, we do, and they just came in. We just got another shipment in, like literally today. So, but yes, we do. Just head to the website. So our website's awakeningsstore.com, 2 S's.
Yeah, up there, I'm like not even in. So they're like,
I know.
Who's that half guy?
I know. That's why I'm like,
this one I'm
I know. That's
in.
why I'm like, so Jess is asking, any remedies for a broken heart? Rhodonite, rhodochrosite, rose quartz, pink opal, ruby zozite. I like all those.
Pesitite.
What he said.
Yeah. It's raspberry beryl.
Stones for constipation, digestion. I like golden healer because that really deals with the solar plexus right there. I'm trying to think, what was I think was it yellow jasper. It's yellow jasper. That's the other one that's specific for digestion. So yellow jasper. Do I unplug my grounding sheet when I'm not in bed? I don't, but I will tell you that the ones that we've had, if you wash them more than like 3 times, they shit out. So that's kind of disappointing to me. But usually it's the washing that'll kind of poop them out. Let's see. I got a blue, white, and black barite bracelet from you guys, and it disappeared. Oh, you didn't need them. Yeah, you can't find another anyway. I will tell you, you don't get to buy another one. Sorry. So, because here's the deal. If you have a crystal and then it disappears, it means that you do not need it anymore. It means that vibrationally speaking, you are vibrating at the same frequency of it and you don't need it. However, here's the weird thing is when you need it again, if you do, it'll show up, and it'll show up in a weird spot. I have crystals that'll show up that I have lost for years, and then all of a sudden they show up right on my cabinet. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm like, it'll show up if you need it. But I know she's like, it was my favorite. So, but like I said, that what's good is that vibrationally speaking, you've matched it. So that means that tell me that you actually healed it. That's good. Blue barret's her fave. That is a pretty crystal. Need a rock for anxiety. Lepidolite and amethyst. Lepidolite and lithium quartz is probably the number 1 and number 2 for those that have mental health issues. So I think somebody was asking earlier about schizophrenia and things like that. So any mental health issues, I like lepidolite or lithium quartz. Same. She found her herderite a year and a half later. Like I said, they'll show up if you need them. But if you don't need that crystal anymore, you'll either lose it or break it. One of the two. And the only thing I'm going to tell you is hematite rings, you should go get another one, and black tourmaline. If your black tourmaline bracelet breaks, leave it where it lies. If it breaks, just leave it where it is because it literally took a hit for you and it needs to stay there. And then come get another one. But those are the only 2 that if somebody comes in and is like, oh, I need a new rose quartz because I lost mine. I'm like, nope, you don't get that. You can have any other pink thing, but you don't get that one because you don't need it. Chronic sinus. I like lapis for that one because lapis actually does both right here. What would be a really dark blue? Like dark blue. Almost like iolite, I think would be another one.
Yeah.
So
demortierite can get pretty dark.
Yeah,
too.
demortierite. So demortierite.
Blue sandstone.
Yeah, that's more for
gold, blue goldstone.
Yeah, that's one. Like I like the demortierite for that one actually. That's really good. Haha. There you go, Jenny. Crystal for March Madness winning bracket. Jade. Jade and pyrite. I like that combo. Jade and pyrite. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's a good question. I wear a ruby ring. Does it help with anything? Yes.
Ruby's known as the stone of passion.
Helps with their relationships. That's why a lot of times somebody will come and say, I want to give a wedding gift, but I want to give something a little different. Garnet and ruby, hands down. Opal isn't bad. Opal's more for like dating. So, but ruby or garnet is really good for relationships and being vulnerable within those relationships. Oh. Do we still have bronze bells? Yes, we do have bronze bells, and the Faraday bags have come back in. And I believe I've got some Faraday hats or EMF hats too. I don't know if those came in quite yet, but they should be here like by the weekend. So, but yeah, the Faraday bags did come back. And what Faraday bags are is that they're bags that you can put your cell phone in, where EMF does not come off your phone at all. Really good to sleep with, but it will not pick up a signal. So if you have it in the Faraday bag and somebody tries to call, it's going to go to voicemail and you won't hear it ring. So, but Faraday bags are excellent, especially if you're a little worried about going through airports and things like that. That's usually when I use my Faraday bag, is when I'm going through airports and stuff and security and all kinds of Wi-Fi crap. So we'll do one more. Purchased the most beautiful green facet aventurine yesterday from the shop. It broke after 3 years of daily use, but don't see it on the online store.
If you signed up for our loyalty program, we'll be able to see what that ring was that you bought, and then we can take a look.
Yeah. So what I would tell you to do is call the store tomorrow, and they can look you up in the loyalty program and see what you ordered. If not, what else you can do is take a picture and then message us, and I'll see. We usually can find most everything, not everything, but most everything.
Here, I'll do the last one then. The Lyle 9275 one.
I'm gonna do this one quick.
All right, we'll do a couple more.
Yeah, lapis broke that you got from the store. It's okay to go ahead and restring it. Go ahead and restring it, but if it breaks again, lapis is not for you. So, there you go. What's the rarest stone?
Well, the question is, what do you consider the rarest? Like what I consider? Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what I consider. I'm about facts and logic. So what is in fact the rarest stones are painite and bixbite. Bixbite is also known as red beryl, found in Utah in the Topaz Mountain and the Wawa Mountains out in Utah. Only place in the world that it's found. That actually recently surpassed painite, which has since held the Guinness Book of World Records as being the rarest stone on the planet, and that's only found in the Modoc region in Myanmar, which is located in southeastern Asia.
That's one of his goals, is to go dig in.
I don't know. I spoke to a vendor that it travels 9-10 months out of the year out of the States, and he says Myanmar.
Not Myanmar. No, Utah.
Okay, Utah. Okay.
Myanmar.
Yeah, he was like, Myanmar, you got to be careful. I'm always back in my hotel room when the sun goes down. You don't want to be caught on the streets at night.
Well, I'm talking Utah.
But Utah. No, Utah's
Utah.
fine.
And going to the Wawas and going to the
Topaz
Mountain. Yeah. So I think that is all. Yep, that is all. So yes, I do personal readings. Just head to psychickelly.com. Excuse me, but like I said, want to thank everybody for watching. We try to do a crystal Q&A at least once a month. So I know that he is going live pretty often. I think he's like for the next 3-4 days, he's going live on Whatnot.
Whatnot's tomorrow night at 7.
Yeah.
Friday night at 7. Saturday is my Facebook one.
Is the Facebook one.
And then Sunday morning at 10 before the store opens up on Whatnot.
He has some really cool stuff. Like,
yeah. So this time, my exotic sale on Saturday. Now it's my time to shine. So Kel's already been seeing some of the things that have been coming in. Some of the stuff's at the store. Haven't unboxed it yet, but we have a lot of the smaller
can
things.
I at least show him the one? Can I show him the one rose quartz? Can I?
Rose? Oh,
that rose quartz.
Sure. Let me grab it.
This rose quartz bracelet. You got to see this. I saw it and I was like, what? He's like, what is it? And I'm like, yeah. Like, hang on. He's got to show it. Do you have it?
Yeah.
And I do like rose quartz. I mean, I'm kind of a rose quartz girl anyway. But this one.
I ordered, I had a purchase per bead, everybody. They're not going to be able to see that. And then show them up here.
You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. See how it's gold? See how it's gold?
It is gold.
See how it looks. Each bead is what, babe?
Each bead, it's not machine pressed. Every single bead on this bracelet is there's real gold that has been etched into the stone by an artist, and the design, each bead has a dragon.
It's a dragon. Each individual bead has a gold dragon on it. And
again, I didn't buy this bracelet. I had to pay per bead. There are 25 8mm beads on it, so it does come out to be a little bit larger. So it's 7.75 inches. I'm going to be showing this on. I'll be doing a close up under my magnifying lens, so you guys will be able to see the intrinsic detail that the artist who actually. So they melted gold. Mm-hmm. On these beads, everybody. So you cannot scratch it off. It is, in fact, part of the bead now.
Yeah, it is. I tried to scratch it. You can't. But I saw that and I was like, okay, now that's different. I've never come across anything like that. So you got to show it. You have to show
one of my cool things.
Yeah. So, but like I said, he's going to be doing that live sale on Saturday night. So that's going to be here on Facebook. So that's Saturday night. But otherwise, Thursday night, Friday night, is all going to be on Whatnot. So if you're not on Whatnot, it's a live shopping platform, and it's excellent. So if you haven't checked us out there, please do. It's Underneath Awakenings. So he goes on Whatnot probably 14 times a month. Mm-hmm. On average. And what he does is he walks around the store. So if you guys ever want, personal shopping, that's him too. But we also have the girls every Wednesday night. That's why I couldn't go live.
Wait a minute.
They were probably going live.
Probably, because Selena was live at 6.
But every Wednesday from 6 to 7, the girls are going to go live at the store and just walk around to be able to help you guys out with either questions or they can personally shop for you. So you can see the exact crystal that you're going to get before you purchase it. So we do that every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Central. So if that's interested, like I said, check that out. But want to thank everybody so much for watching. If you haven't been following Awakenings of Omaha, please do. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for a metaphysical anatomy Q&A. And then I will be teaching Enlightenment Academy for the weekend. So have a good weekend ahead, guys. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.